Hi there. So we're going to return back to one of the stories that we've touched before, but the reason we're going to talk about it this time is the deity of Jesus. And the story is from Mark 5. Then they came to the other side of the sea, to the country of the Gadarenes. And when he had come out of the boat, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling amongst the tombs, and no one could bind him, not even with chains, because he had often been bound with shackles and chains. And the chains had been pulled apart by him, and the shackles broken in pieces. Neither could anyone tame him. And always, night and day, he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying out and cutting himself with stones. When he saw Jesus from afar, he ran and worshipped him. And he cried out in a loud voice and said, "What have I to do with you, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I implore you by God that you do not torment me." For he had said to him, "Come out of this man, you unclean spirit." Then he asked him, "What is your name?" And he answered, saying, "My name is Legion, for we are many." Also he begged him earnestly that he would not send him out of the country. And now a large herd of swine were feeding there near the mountains. So all the demons begged him, saying, "Send us into the swine, that we may enter them." And at once Jesus gave them permission. Then the unclean spirits went out and entered the swine. There was about 2,000 of them. And the herd ran violently down the steep place and into the sea, and drowned in the sea. So I want to come back to go through a touch on a few things. The first thing is that this guy was in the tombs, and that he was very violent, and uncontrollable, basically. The first thing we need to look at is no mortal could control him or bind him. He was living out in the tombs by himself. They tried to put chains on him, but nobody could control him or bind him or even go near him, really. He was just too wild. The second thing is that whenever he saw Jesus from far away, they recognized Jesus from far away. Not that he was a man, but that they recognized that he was Jesus, God. This implies that the demons had prior knowledge of who Jesus was. They knew that he had absolute power over them, and they were scared. That's why they came up and they ran forward and fell in front of him, worshipping him, but kind of like in a very scared way. Now also think about it. It implies that they knew Jesus from before. They knew that he was, and they called him the Son of God. They knew. They absolutely knew. There was no doubt in their mind. And they knew he had absolute power over them. They said, "Please don't torment us. Please send us into the pigs," which of course he did in the end. I want us to ask this question. Would that demoniac, would he have been anything like this with a normal person? Even if it was one of the apostles. We don't see anything like this anywhere else in the Bible. And in fact, even if it was a holy prophet, still there would be no reaction like this. Absolutely acknowledging that Jesus is something very different and something very special. Now, the other thing, too, to bear in mind is he says his name is Legion, for we are many. And Legion was about 5,000 Roman soldiers. 5,000. So he probably had about 5,000 demons in him. So that's crazy. Anyway, that's it for today. I just wanted to show that. To me, it was interesting. There's so many. I've just come across recently so many instances in the Bible where Jesus' deity is emphasized, but in a kind of like quite subtle way. Anyway, I hope to bring more. Thanks.